So you broke up. Your relationship is over, but you can't move on. You used to do everything together, so wherever you go reminds you of them. Even though they're gone, it seems like you think about them more than ever. Maybe if you just keep going over it in your mind, then you'll figure out what went wrong and they'll come running back to you. But guess what? You won't. You'll just drive yourself insane. Stick around and I'll teach you how to get your mind off your ex. Plus, I'll share with you why you can't stop thinking about your ex. Spoiler, it has nothing to do with them and everything to do with you. Hi everybody, I'm relationship coach and breakup expert Jessica Voss. I specialize in helping people restart relationships and bounce back from breakups. Call me a hopeless romantic, but I believe that love is magic. It has the potential to bring happiness, connection, and light into our lives, and that's worth fighting for. But sometimes when things go south in a relationship, it can be very painful. The memory of the love you once had is doing you harm. So how can you put your ex out of your mind and move forward? First, let's look at why your ex is occupying all of your thoughts. Let's start off by dealing with the most common problems. Number one, it's easier to think about your ex than move on with your life. Buddhist leader Tick Nah Tahn says people have a hard time letting go of the suffering out of the fear of the unknown. They prefer suffering that is familiar. That's a fancy way of saying that this fixation on the past relationship is a way to avoid having to worry about your own problems. While thinking about your ex is painful, it's familiar. It's not out of your comfort zone, and since you're broken up, thinking about them will never spur you into actions besides what you're already doing. In a weird way, it's comforting. Like poking a canker sore with your tongue. You may not feel good doing it, but it's not going to surprise you. We prefer the devil we know. This is why we'd rather donate $10 to save the baby seals than take a seal hunter into our home and teach him how to use PowerPoint so he can compete in the modern job market. Long story short, it's easier to whine about your ex than it is to move on with your life. Number two, you still see them. If your ex is still a part of your life, then no wonder you're having trouble moving on. Whether you're seeing them on social media, hearing about them from mutual friends, or actually seeing them day to day, then it makes sense that they're still on your mind. You need to take steps to build some distance into your life. First, social media. There are ways you can avoid seeing them without straight up blocking their accounts. Twitter and Facebook allow you to mute a person so you won't stumble across them on your feed. But if you find yourself constantly checking out their profiles, you might need to take a step back to avoid them. Block them, delete them as a friend, go full scorched earth. Don't worry about what they think. That's the best thing about being broken up. You don't have to make their feelings your priority anymore. You need to do what's right for you. On that note, if your friends keep bringing up your ex, tell them to stop. It's not the easiest conversation to have, but they need to know that it bothers you. If they're good friends, they will understand. Some people think that acting like nothing bothers you is how to be strong. We're only human. Putting on a brave face can only get you so far. Truly strong people acknowledge what is bothering them and address it so they can move forward. On that note, don't text them, call them, or see them anymore. If you two are still hanging out, cut off all contact. It may feel comforting to see them, but it's like eating a whole tub of ice cream. Great for an hour, but you're definitely going to feel worse tomorrow. Number three, you're keeping it bottled up. Talking about your ex nonstop is obnoxious and will definitely have your friends running the other way once they see you in the streets. But if you haven't been able to talk about your breakup at all, then it might be why you can't stop thinking about your ex. You need to own it and talk about it to take its power away. This does not mean dwelling on every gory detail, but if you find that you're thinking about him or her all the time and never letting anyone else know, you should try to talk to someone about what happened. You'll be surprised how saying it out loud will make it feel way less of a big deal. If you have no one in your life you can turn to, you should consider talk therapy. It's helpful to have someone who's willing to listen to anything you have to say without judgment. This is something that a therapist can offer. Sometimes getting it all out in the open will free your mind from continuously going to the same places. The fourth reason you can't stop thinking about your ex is that you're focusing on the wrong things. Let's talk about how you're thinking about your ex. You probably know the phrase, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. This speaks to our tendencies to remember only the good things about our past relationship. This can be a good thing. It allows us to maintain positive memories of an ex and move forward with our hearts free from pain. But more often than not, it hurts us. Those who fixate on an ex tend to think two things only: how amazing their ex made them feel, and how much it hurt to have it end. If this is all you're thinking about, then it's no wonder you can't get over it. Try to remember all the bad times too. Things weren't as good as you remember, or you would still be together. If you can't keep the negatives in your mind when you think about your ex, you'll be more able to see them as a real person and less as some magic cure for your pain. Number 5. This was your first relationship. If your ex was the first person you seriously dated, you might be worried that they were the only one for you. You can't imagine ever meeting someone else who will want you again. I have good news for you. If there was one person in the world who wanted to be with you, then there are many people out there who will see the same thing that they did in you. Also, even if you're very picky, if you were able to find one person who made you happy, then there are a ton of other people out there who will make you feel the same way. If only because there are so many people out there. Think about it in this way. If there are enough people out there who buy a PT Cruiser that they keep making year after year, if there are enough people out there who want this t-shirt that they're sold out, if there are enough people who made this mistake that they had to post this sign, then there are enough people out there that you could date someone new every week until you're in a nursing home and still not run out. Even if you feel like you're nothing special, there are many people who would disagree. You just have to find them. And the sooner you can put your ex out of your mind, the sooner you'll be able to see that they weren't your only option, and that you'll be able to find and connect with new people. But hey, diagnosing the problem is the first step. Even if you know why you keep thinking about your ex, it doesn't mean you're able to stop any more than knowing why that guy at McDonald's stabbed you. It means that you're not going to bleed out in the ball pit. So how do you stop? There's no magic phrase I can say that will erase your ex from your mind, unfortunately. You are actually going to have to do a little work. My first piece of advice is take stock of your life. What I want you to do is make a list of what you love about your life. It may make you feel a little silly, but I promise it helps. Whether it's friends, family, your job, your hobbies, what are the things that add value to your life and make it worth living? Don't compare yourself to other people. Focus on things that make you happy and explain why and how. I find that a lot of my clients don't see this stuff because they're too busy focusing on what isn't working and not putting any thought into what's going well. This is a natural human impulse. We feel like what isn't working needs our attention because we need to work on it, whereas things that are working can be safely ignored. This is why even people who seem like they have amazing lives are unhappy, because they're focusing on the negative and not the positive. This list will help give you content. What I mean is, when your ex is all you can think about, they seem like they're your entire life. If you can see how they really fit into your life, you'll see that they were just a small piece. Plus, you'll see that they're no longer on that list. They used to be a part of your life that brought you great comfort and happiness. But now all they're doing is dragging you down because you're focusing on a part of your life that is over. Another benefit of this list is that there are all these things you can lean on to get your mind off your ex. Love the beach? Get off the couch and get some sun. Does your family make you happy? Go have dinner with your parents. I know it seems like an impossible task, but you feel this way because you can't push through the pain. It really will take your mind off of it. But what if this list is extremely short? If you're finding that you can't find a lot of stuff to put on this list, it's okay. Sometimes we let a relationship swallow up all the good things in our life. This is another reason why you can't stop thinking about your ex. This short list is an opportunity. Think of the areas in your life that are lacking. Do you enjoy your job? What are you taking in school? Have you lost touch with your friends? Maybe you've stopped pursuing your hobbies. Don't despair. The more you have to work on, the easier it will be to keep your mind off your ex. Think of one small thing a day to do to make your life better, and do it. It can be as small as going for a walk or calling a friend. If you can take this step, then before you know, you'll forget all about your ex. That's all for today, folks. I feel like I could talk about this for hours, so if you want more advice on how to stop thinking about your ex, please click like. And while you're at it, subscribe to my channel so you can see all my videos before anybody else. I've been Jessica Boss, bossing you around. Bye!